Welcome to Asian Banking and Finance TV. We're joined today with Noel Pettitt. He's the Vice President at Teradata, and we're here to talk about what banks are learning and doing in data warehousing, and also to flag some of the issues they should be aware of. How vital are customer relationship management solutions for banks?
I think the first thing worth recognising is that customers are where revenue come from, and while it sounds like a simplistic statement, customers have become more complicated. So the environment in which customers live in nowadays, the influences that can be exerted on customers, the choices they have, and the way that they will react has all changed. The ability to understand that, to be able to better predict it, is the role of customer relationship management. So customers have got lots of choices nowadays. They've got multiple channel choices, they've got multiple supplier choices, and customers have become more expert shoppers. So that's one thing. Secondly, customer management in the organisation now is not just the domain of marketing. Customer management cuts across all aspects of the organisation, and everybody in the organisation is involved in the process of effectively managing customers to value. The market fragmentation, there's more tools, more technologies, more methodologies, more ways that customers have access to, more things that create a confusing environment, and more elements to the context that a customer exists in. So it's becoming extraordinarily complex. CRM solutions have to be able to operate in an environment that supports that complexity, and they have to themselves be able to deal with and manage that complexity. That's why I think our Teradata Relationship Manager is such an important product and such a unique product in the market nowadays. And the fourth thing is the explosion of data. So we all sort of understand that, but the fact that the data explosion has affected customers, so the growth of the internet, the growth of mobile sales channels, the growth of social networking, and the impact that social networking can now have on a customer's view, and a way in which a customer can be influenced from outside the organisation, are all things that an organisation needs to be very aware of. Most organisations are aware of that, but they're getting the data into disparate systems, and they're not necessarily getting that single view of the customer. They're not necessarily able to view the customer from all the angles in which a customer needs to be able to be viewed and understood in order to have an effective value relationship. So marketing today needs to be lightning fast. It's more like tennis than golf.
What innovations have changed the face of CRM solutions?
I think the thing that's fundamentally changed CRM solutions is the need to be in a real-time engagement with the customer. So the need to talk to a customer in the context of the conversation you're having with the customer, and in the context of what's happening to the customer now. So broad-based approaches to segmentation and to understanding customers aren't appropriate anymore. You need to understand what's happened in the last 24 hours, where the customer's at right now, and you need to be able to do that in a manner that is, from the customer's perspective, seamless. I think it's also really important that the most effective way to deal with the customer is deal with the customer on the inbound channel, not on the outbound channel. So the inbound channel you're not in control of. You're not in control of when that happens, but that ability to respond to a customer when they've contacted you, and to make offers to that customer, or to improve the relationship or improve the portfolio with the customer in an inbound situation, has become absolutely critical.
In terms of analytic tools, how is Teradata instrumental in helping real-time decision making?
We have a concept called active enterprise intelligence, which is the concept of making sure that information is available to frontline workers or frontline systems, as the case may be, such that the workers and systems can deal with the customer at the time in a real-time sense. So there's been a shift away from analytics being something that's done overnight or done periodically into, if you like, analytics at the speed of transactions. So active enterprise intelligence is about how do you take that analytical capability and make it available to frontline workers or systems that are dealing interactively with the customer at the time. So from our point of view, we realise that through active data warehousing. And active data warehousing is actual product. So our enterprise data warehousing software has been built out over the last few years to include active components. So it can actively load, it can be actively interrogated. The warehouse isn't a batch system, the warehouse is now an interactive system that can deal with analytics at the speed of transactions.
What industries benefit the most from the real-time concept?
I think most industries benefit from real-time decisioning, but financial institutions rely heavily on real-time transactions. So most interactions with customers in financial institutions, be they at the teller, be they through a mobile lender, be they through the web or through an ATM, are real-time transactions. So the real-time concept is significant in the financial services industry. Every time there's a real-time interaction with the customer, the organisation needs to be in a position to add further value to that transaction. And in particular in financial services where the product is a soft product, it's very important to make sure that you maximise the value of every interaction so that you get the most out of the transaction.
Now, we've just come out of a brutal recession. What's the outlook now for data warehousing, and how are financial institutions approaching it?
It's been an interesting time. I mean, certainly one of the things that was true during the downturn is it's a reminder to an organisation that its customers are its most valued asset. So in any downturn, organisations will get very sharply focused on the fact that they need to retain their customers, and they get very sharply focused on the fact that they probably need to do a better job of that at this point on as we come out of the recovery. Organisations get a better understanding of what products are profitable, what segments are profitable, and in the coincidence of the two things, so what products in what segments. So all of those things are heightened in a downturn as requirements, and as we come out of the downturn, you tend to find that the organisations have made a decision that they need to be more invested in that type of understanding of their business and their customer going forward. So we're seeing as we come out of the downturn that it's an exciting time for data warehousing. The prospects are probably greater than going in. I think we've become more relevant. So yeah, it's an exciting time, Tim.
Noel Pettitt, thank you very much for your time. Hope you enjoyed the interview. Look forward to more on Asian Banking and Finance TV.